Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan, and I'm enjoying I'm putting this into the universe. I want these people to sponsor us.
What flavor is that?
This is Liquid Death Iced Tea. This is called Armless Palmer. It's like their version of an Arnold Palmer. It's a little bit fizzy. It's got some agave, and it's supposed to have vitamins in it. But it tastes really good. Really, really good.
A couple things. Mess Fest is coming up May 14th and 15th at the Orlando Science Center.
Yeah, we got to go out there and broadcast live from there. Man, this is a wall-to-wall science extravaganza.
Yeah, great event for the kids and any of your kids that are into making slime on YouTube like Maisie is.
Elephant toothpaste making things explode.
And all the chemistry behind the slime and the foam explosions.
The liquid nitrogen.
They do all this at the Science Center, and you could bring your kids to enjoy it. And that's happening May 14th and 15th.
Yep.
Also, the hurricane party is coming up May 27th.
It's 13th and 14th, but close enough.
All right.
Did you say 14th and 15th?
Damn it.
Yeah.
14th, 15th, 13th, 14th. You know.
Just search Mess Fest.
It's this upcoming weekend, yeah.
Boy, I've taken this follow you to hell thing like too far. I got to start checking the work.
No, it's fine. And I always look at it like I'm promoting something, but it's almost like, Mess Fest, and they're not gonna. They're gonna go and look at it online.
What if they start with
right?
the date though? What if they get 14th and 15th? They're like, I'm not showing any mess here.
Popping up.
There's no mess here.
Well,
they show up to the Science Center on the 15th and nothing's there.
Yeah.
No one's just gonna hear me say that and just drive there without looking.
I would
There's a lot of no-plan vans out there.
I would probably do that.
No, you're gonna look at it. Your wife's gonna.
My
look
wife
it up.
is a date gal though.
Yeah.
She's a date gal. She would have. What did he say? 14th and 15th or 13th and 14th?
You're just gonna look up Orlando Science Center. Is something.
Now,
Tom Van was close
one
enough.
one of these days, our listeners are going to figure out that we figured out that the way to maximize value when you have clients that advertise is to make the mistake, and instead of fixing it, to talk about openly the mistake you made gives them and maximizes their airtime.
Always check our dates when we say
things. We're the pros.
You never know.
Hurricane party May 28th.
27th.
No, I'm joking.
Oh, my God. It's happening.
I'm not even going to
Hurricane
say
Party
the
Mess
dates.
Fest. There you go.
Yeah.
Hurricane Party Mess Fest. Here, watch this. Nobody's going to Google this Christmas. You're going to Google a date on that? You're not. You know what it is.
Okay, so a couple things.
Yes.
It was Tommy's birthday over the weekend.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. How old is he now?
9 years old.
I can't believe it.
Wow.
It's crazy. He's
Last
9.
year in the single digits.
Yeah.
Why you got to remind us?
No, it's he was so tall and lanky now. He's not a little baby.
He towers over me.
I heard something that hold him like a baby, and he's like,
it's
like
too
a
long.
stick
It's
bug.
like
He's
holding a broom.
Anyway, so Crystal, she decided to do his birthday at a go-kart place, right?
Man, I got a lot of work to do.
Those plans changed quite a bit.
Well, they did, but this one was, I got to tell you, the Vans did it right.
I should have got invited to this one. This one I would have liked.
Sam, this place is I don't know what you spent, but I know what Maisie wants, and I better get my wallet out, because that was a top-tier birthday party.
Well, you mentioned that. At first, Crystal was thinking about doing his birthday at like Typhoon Lagoon or Blizzard Beach or whatever.
I went there just in case you guys were going to be there.
Sneak by.
And
steal some,
try and get a slice of pizza for free.
Yeah, steal some of those chicken nugs.
When she started laying out the cost of that, and then she was like, well, can we ask our friends to like pay for their own entrance? So, like, that's kind of a D-head thing to do. Like, we're having we'll pay for the kids.
But I wouldn't go if you did that. Or I just let you take Maisie. I would just let you take Maisie, and then I stay home.
Like Daniel and Andrew are going to have to pay.
Yeah, I'm not paying $170.
Yeah, it's a $170 a piece.
I'm not paying,
like, that's a lot.
Like $70 a piece?
I think so.
Yeah, I'm not paying $140 for me and Andrea to go and sit in a lawn chair and listen to the same reggae playlist. They got the
Typhoon, they play, for some reason.
Christmas reggae.
They'll play like frontier music. You're like, hold on, you're not on theme here.
Yeah, but at Blizzard Beach, they do Christmas reggae, which is it's a good playlist, but you got to update it. Come on.
So that got nixed because I was like, we can't ask all our friends and everybody, the parents to show up.
What you do is you take the kids, and it's you and Crystal and maybe your sister as a helper, and you take the kids, and then you give me and my wife the ability to go to a gourmet lunch.
Okay,
We're staring into each other's eyes. We're at the Millennium Mall. I'm having a blue agave margarita.
What age do people start leaving their kids at birthday parties? Like we left Tommy and Max at a birthday party the last time, I think, and it was pretty sweet.
It's the best.
Where was that birthday party?
Drop-off parties are the best.
It was just at like a park.
Okay.
But the drop-off, like the ones that you're obligated to go and stay. I'm talking about the ones where mommy and daddy go and we drop you off and we'll see you in a couple hours and then like we get free time. We can go home and lay in bed if we want to.
I think a lot of parents don't do that nowadays as much as, like in the 80s, just, drop off at like a random house.
Drop off at McDonald's.
Swimming pool. Like the most dangerous thing, like you would drop your, 6 or 7 year old out
at Tommy Lee's pool party.
Yeah, like a pool party.
Yeah, it just happened. I don't even want to make a joke. It just happened to that Tampa Bay Buccaneer player.
But and then
it's
trust
dangerous.
all the parents, because even if you have 13 kids at a house pool, like things get.
What's it take? 4 seconds and they're underwater and dead. It takes no time.
And they're all splashing. And there's pool floats everywhere. Those are happening in our pool. Like I'm looking around. I have the hot tub on the jets. It's all foamy.
And you make some of the pool floats.
Is a kid down there?
Some of the pool floats look like kids. Like they make them like hair.
You know what the scariest part of hosting a pool party at your house, and this happens to me it happened to me this weekend,
is hiring the teen lifeguard. That's the scariest part.
Is that every once in a while I'll be standing there and I'm intoxicated, just like all the parents.
I can't go to your pool parties anymore. I drink too much. They're too fun.
Well, so also that leads into like when the police are there interviewing you, you're slurring, and then they're like,
we do that move.
I was watching them the whole time, officer.
Or you do that move where you can't control your reactions because you're so drunk that you're smiling the whole time, and they're like, "Sir, people have died here."
Right.
And you
oh
can't.
my God! Did you see that video?
Yeah,
of
with
girl?
that lady, and she can't stop smiling, and she's laughing.
She's talking about going to Vegas.
Yeah, and she's just laughing the whole time, but she killed people.
She ran over like 2 pedestrians, I think. Was it that, or was it another car?
It was 2 pedestrians.
Yeah, she like straight up killed them, and she's like being detained, and she like has no idea what's going on. She's so wasted.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And she's like
crazy.
Happy. She's like happy and laughing and all this kind of stuff.
She's like, no, I only hit the one that ran in front of me, but that. And they're like, no, ma'am, you killed 2 people, and she's like, no,
come on.
Well, that video will be held against you.
Yeah.
That will not help the jury's opinion of you.
Anyway,
Anyway,
videoing you outside your house. You're talking about the kid that drowned. You're laughing about it.
So I'm there, and I'm usually like I'm scanning the pool, right? But every once in a while, I'll like go back to a conversation, and then I'll look back at the pool, and there'll inevitably be some kid, and all the kids know how to swim, But there'll be some kid underwater.
Except for that one, Fat Johnny doesn't know how.
But the kid will be like, underwater because he'll be playing. He's like swimming
who can
underwater.
sink down the lowest for the longest amount of time.
Oh, whatever.
Hold your breath and act like you're dead.
And then
those are games.
That's the game I played.
My heart will I'll lose a week of my life by like and then I'll stare at him for like one Mississippi to see to make sure he's still like and then he'll pop back up and I'm like, all right, that happens 100 times the entire time.
I got 3 or 4
micro heart attacks.
Yeah, I had 3 or 4 micro attacks when Maisie was doing flips so close to the edge of the pool that I could hear her
hair is brushing.
I could hear her hair brushing the gunite. That's how close it was. Her hair.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, oh my God, you're gonna knock herself out.
You know what I need? I need a diving board.
You do.
That would be awesome.
Or a trampoline next to the pool.
I thought I got this stupid pool cage. I ripped that down.
Cut one of the screens out so we can jump through it.
It's just at the top.
Yeah.
If you make it over.
It's the challenge.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll put
you know how to do
I'll put
pool
a mattress
right
there.
Anyway. You know how to do pool screens now.
So anyway, back to
Andretti.
the party at Andretti. So
Sam, you have to go to this place, man.
So we're supposed to go.
They're not a sponsor. I'll put this into the universe too. Please be a sponsor. You're so nice.
So Crystal,
that's the nicest blanket place I've ever seen.
Well, since they're not a sponsor, we could be completely honest.
Yeah, we can be honest.
And then if they are a sponsor, you'll know. It's heavily skewed one direction. Anyway, Crystal picked out this Andretti's place that I've never been to.
I've never been to it either.
And I don't know what, we asked Tommy, like, hey, what do you want to do for your birthday? And then every suggestion, he's like,
nothing.
Yeah, he's just
he's
okay.
like Tom. It's like if you suggested us to have lunch, right?
Everything is sure.
Yeah. It's fine.
No matter what
Sure,
you
it's
say,
fine.
Sam, he'll agree to whatever lunch you say.
Which, by the way, I do tell Crystal, I was like, we could have gotten away with,
Absolutely.
park,
That's the best way out.
like
The kid doesn't care.
Yeah, a park, a sheet cake.
But it matters to her, man.
Like, that would have
It
been
matters to Crystal.
some Papa John's.
No, I'm so sick of your Papa John's. They
$1.50.
only order 2 Papa John's, 1 cheese, 1 meat, or 1 pepperoni, and then you get over there, and then they're like, and then they party cut it, so you're eating like a little. It's like a toothpick of pizza.
So Crystal plans this party at Andretti's, right? Which is over there. What is it, like iDrive area? Where it's like over by the park.
I will say it seemed nicer than iDrive because not on iDrive.
Yeah.
Not exactly on iDrive.
It's
but
in the tourist
definitely
area.
in the industrial area, and when you drive up to it, not much to look at from the outside. A gray building. It's nice. You can see the F1 car out front, like a real one.
So, I have no idea what this place was. Like, I don't look on the internet to
Me
see
neither.
you. I just walk in.
I
this
forgot
place
we had
blind,
the
right?
party. I forgot we had the party.
And I didn't ask.
I'd gone to Ace Hardware to get stuff for my scooter, and Andrew's like, "You got to take a shower."
I don't usually ask how expensive things are. I just
Wow.
trust Crystal.
I always do.
Because Crystal's cheaper than I am. Or I wouldn't say that.
I would disagree.
I was
with
going to
that.
say, isn't there
I
always an
disagree.
Amazon box showing up every
I
day?
disagree with that.
Yeah. But
Yeah, you did.
I guess I'm thinking about all the ridiculous things that I waste my money on.
Those don't count to me though. That's just trash.
Yeah.
If it's just trash, it doesn't count.
And I think she does some due diligence on researching what things cost.
She
or
knew
whatever.
all
Like, I
about
don't
it
know.
because she had to choose different packages,
Yeah.
right?
She yells at me we're on a spending freeze, but I don't see her freezing nothing.
Yeah.
But to me, and
It's
I'm like,
thought
what
out,
do I
buddy.
buy?
You know,
It has thought out.
I am on a spending freeze as well, but Andrea can come and go as she pleases in the bank.
But nothing ever changes. Like, she's like, spending freeze. I'm like, all right, I put my hands up. I'm like, okay.
It's
all right.
freeze.
I'm like, I just buy the smoothie, and then I go to Publix. Should I freeze that? Anyway, so we walk into Andretti's, and this place is a massive, gigantic complex.
It's humongous.
Like, huge and nice inside.
It's like the future.
Yeah,
Like when
yeah.
you walk, I love
Full
building,
bar.
full bar.
And then we got there in the morning like 11, and there was
They had
employees
25
everywhere.
bartenders, Sam. When you walk up to that bar, you look, where are all these people? They're the bartenders. That place had
Nice.
wall-to-wall
They
bartenders.
had people that were standing there opening the doors when you leave.
Just a
Like,
door
it's
lady.
weird.
And then you go into the bathroom, and there's a man that has this little robot thing. He's cleaning the bath. He never stops. He cleans the bathroom from sun up to sundown.
And then so we walk into the party rooms, which are super nice, and
Yeah.
they're set up they have like conferences there, and like it seems like they get a lot of their money from like
Looking like
corporate-
rich businessmen.
corporate retreats or like corporate sales, team building meetings, exercises, something like
Can
that.
we have our corporate event there this year?
I can't afford it.
Christmas party?
Can't afford it.
Come on, Christmas at
Spending
Andretti's.
freeze.
Yeah.
Spending freeze.
We're doing that at Johnny's. Not at
Damn
Johnny's.
it.
Anyway,
Yeah.
but so then they give
Johnny's has goat racing.
they are like they brought in an employee. They're like, I'll be your concierge
Yeah.
for today,
Howard or
And as soon as I heard that, I'm like, concierge.
yeah,
I'm
Tom's
like,
starting to freak out a
I was
little
like,
bit.
how much is
Tom
this?
turned to Crystal and he
Oh.
goes, we get a person that's just our guy. And yeah. And so what Crystal had ordered, and I guess this is standard, you get a concierge and the guy, and it's a brilliant idea. He takes the kids to all the stations to do the stuff.
Yeah.
Like
It's all there. So they
laser
just,
tag.
Yeah, they just like, oh, come on, kids, let's go do laser tag. And their laser tag's legit.
And
There's
then-
smoke and haunted house music.
the electric go-karts, and then like there's a VR thing. There's like 3 things,
Yeah,
and
they're
then there's
riding
like an
a
hour.
SpongeBob's boat.
And I gotta say that when Crystal, now she could be lying to me, and
Right.
Okay,
I'm
healthy relationship.
or
Yes.
I say lying, I mean like
Fudging.
exaggerating to
Sanding, smoothing the truth, smoothing the truth, edging it.
Yeah.
No, not edging. That's disgusting.
Leaning more towards like she could be telling me the price before
Right,
taxes and fees.
Yeah, it's like when I buy a beer and it was like $1, but then everything said and done, it was like $6, like with the tip and everything. It's like I still say it was $1.
Yeah, it's like telling someone the price of a hotel. It's like it's only $150 night, but that's before
Yeah.
the
Right.
It's really
It's like our
$360.
Airbnb.
the tourism.
Yeah.
The taxes, the tourism tax, like all
Oh.
the and like a hotel's price of what it says and it's
no.
$100 more.
At least.
100 more than the price. Like, it's not just like 6%
You bought a concert
sales
ticket
tax.
lately?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, the taxes and fees are more than the actual concert.
Anyway, Crystal claimed that with 9 kids and all this stuff that we got was $500. And I was like, for $500, 9 kids, and then that included the kids' food, and then all the service and the three things.
And the food was good, no hassle. The bathrooms are clean.
They all got
multiple I'm serious. They got like the bars, bartenders everywhere, beer and mega goblets.
Maybe we need to work on a Tom and Dan.
I got too drunk there too because they served the beer in these 32-ounce mega goblets, and I was like, oh my, it was awesome.
Let's go back to the doing your kid's birthday at a place that has a full bar. That's the way to go.
Yeah.
All the adults
I've been to a couple fun spot parties.
Yeah. Fun spot.
Passionately kissed Crystal and thanked her for doing that because, like, when we walked in and they lit up that bar, man, oh man, it was, and the food was good. It was good.
Yeah. And now I have a couple funny stories. We'll tell on the BDM show.
Yeah,
but,
not a BDM.
All in all, that's
Sounds like a great time.
Check it out.
It was pretty good. And then I'll tell you about the electric water gun and all the other stuff. Anyway, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back with more corporate time.
All right. Let's save that.
16.
Where's that go?
Monday 1, and then Tom, you have the information for our guest. You're probably writing on the back of that sheet.
Yeah. I got it right here.
Okay. I'm gonna save this and then I'll pull him in.
I thought
It
he
was
calling.
500. It was 500 from. When the phone rang.
Yeah,
I
but
did
it
too.
wasn't. Yeah, I don't know who that was. They hung up on me.
Yeah, it was 500 total.
Okay, I thought
But
that was the guy that called.
It was awesome.
No.
I don't believe it was 500, by the way. That
It's super nice. If it was worth it. I had a great time. All right, let me load in Howie. There he is.
Hey,
man,
what's going on?
Can you
dude?
hear us okay? Yeah. It's a little bit low on our end.
Yeah, the volume.
Yeah, the volume's just a touch low on your end, but other than that, hey, thanks for the time, man. We appreciate it.
Oh, that
Check.
got
1, 2.
Oh, perfect.
That's better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's perfect. Thank you.
There we go.
All right. I just want to check one little thing here, T, before we get going. All right, cool. All right. This is 2.
Yes.
All right. When you want to bring us back?
Yep.
3, 2.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time.
This is really, really cool. We get the ability to interview the lineup or members of the lineup from the hurricane party that's going to be going on at the Western Trading Company and it's the historic L between Western Trading Company
Giant street party.
and Celery City Craft. Is a huge street party, and on the line with us from one of the headliners that's going to be in town. And I know you and I have seen this band together, but this particular gentleman, he's plugged into the streaming community, and hopefully he can help us with ours because it's not that good. From the band Ballyhoo, it's Howie Spangler. How you doing, man?
Hey, what's going on? How you guys feeling?
Good, man. Thanks for the time. We appreciate it. I was just watching your stream, and that's really cool, man. It's cool that you go out there and you just interact with people and play music and talk to them. And how did you, as a a beach rock guy, decide one day that you wanted to start streaming?
I've always been streaming, honestly. Like I'd say since probably like 2012, maybe I started using this app called Stage It. And you could actually make a little bit of money from it. And so I did that a little bit. I wasn't very consistent. But over the years, I was always kind of dabbling. And then when I kind of started doing it more in like 2019, when I started my YouTube channel and got that going.
Yeah.
But then when the pandemic dropped, it was like, okay, I should probably get into this more. I should lean into this. And I I already kind of had like a solid foundation. I was getting pretty consistent with it, and then yeah, when the pandemic happened, everything, I had this nice little community already, and I just been doing it every Wednesday night when I'm not touring.
Yeah, it's
Um,
awesome, man. And like also you do a podcast, which is interesting considering the fact that we came from radio, left radio to do podcasting full time. How did you start doing the podcast? I mean, not to talk about everything that's not your band and going to be at
Yeah.
the hurricane party, but how did you get into podcasting? I was listening to that this morning too, and I subscribe to it now because it's a damn fine podcast, man.
thank you very much. I just like making stuff, man. I like just it's just fun for me to create things, and I've just always been that way. And like having the gear that I have, and just I don't know. I just like being able to make that stuff, like whether it's music or podcast. The podcast was something that came along because like I was always giving advice out to bands that were, people would come to me and say, "Hey, dude, how'd you get this? How'd this happen? How'd you, And I was like, well, shit, I should just like make a little, I don't know, I should make a podcast and just talk about this stuff, just episodes, just my experience with it. And the first couple episodes, I just kind of I hit upload, and people were just hit me up saying, "This is amazing! Like, God, thank you so much for doing this."
Yeah.
And I don't know, it was nice.
And it's cool from like you sound like a serial creator almost, like you can't stop it. And the idea of
Curse.
you sharing, yeah, we have a little bit of that too. We've thought a couple times because we got into podcasting really, really early on, like in '09, and we thought like, oh, well, maybe we could teach other people how to do it. But do you, do you really enjoy giving the advice to like the younger bands and people that maybe are going down the same road that you once went down?
Yeah, because I didn't have that. Like me and my band, we didn't have like someone someone like me doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like telling these stories and sort of um getting people prepared to sort of like, I think there's definitely a rite of passage. I think every band should sleep on floors, eat shitty food, have to drive all night to get somewhere. I think that those are things that just need to happen so you can appreciate it when it's better later, and maybe you have a better vehicle and you got more money coming in and things like that. You can appreciate that. But there's definitely certain things that I think are not necessary to do this. You can leapfrog some of those things. Like things like, the van catching on fire. I would never wish that on anyone. You know what I mean?
But it
Yeah,
happened.
yeah.
That happened to us on our first tour, and it's just, it's not cool. So it's like, if I can tell that story every now and then, it gets out there and people go, oh, I guess I shouldn't drive 90 miles an hour through the mountains and blow the transmission. And
Right. Yeah.
So Howie, I'm curious because you are a super smart guy. We heard a bunch of interviews this morning, and going back to giving other bands advice, especially like younger bands that are just now getting into it. It's so different now, and I love talking about the differences of like even when we started podcasting, or like back 20 years ago, the only way to get the word out was to go through traditional media and get your band on the radio, whatever,
Yeah.
or just like, or do the grind of the travel of playing in different small bars across the East Coast first,
Sure.
and then now with social media and the internet, there's so much easier ways to promote yourself, and then there's luck of getting something that hits virally or gets your music out there that a bunch of people get exposed to. So when you're giving advice to people, do you still it's like you said, good for people to go through the grind of it, but some things aren't as necessary as they were because there's other ways to promote yourself. I'm curious to what, like nowadays in 2023, what's your advice to new bands out there?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely, if I was starting a band today, I would use the social media like all the time. Like it's insane how you can just kind of connect and reach so many people that way, and just start telling stories and just being honest and true about what you're going through and what you're doing, and like I know a couple artists right now that are using Facebook and Instagram like insane, like seriously, like growing their careers so fast because they're sharing stories about like, okay guys, I'm about to tickets going on sale Friday. I really hope you guys come through and buy tickets, whatever. Hey guys, I'm packing up all these orders. Kyle Smith is one of these guys.
Yeah.
He's just insane. Like the dude is like a workaholic, and he reminds me of myself in that way, where it's just like it's always just it's about the thing, it's about the career, and so yeah, absolutely be using that. I think like it's entirely possible to blow just from social media, SoundCloud, things like that. That doesn't happen as often as people might think it does nowadays, even though we have all these tools. Because we have these tools, it makes it even more saturated and almost in ways harder to stand out, because everyone can use it and everyone can upload. I mean, I don't know what the daily is for Spotify. It's like 30 or 40,000 tracks a day or something.
Like new things.
Yeah.
And so there's tons of bands doing it. If your stuff is good, obviously you'll stand out, you rise above. But it's just learning how to use these platforms as tools to grow and all that. Absolutely, man. Every band should be doing that. Every band should be going live. Every artist should be going live, building a community. Don't worry about what's going on around you or don't compare yourself to other bands. Like, just do what you do. People will find you. There's 8 billion people in this world. People will find you, and you can grow your community and cut out your little piece of it. That I'd say to people.
I saw you guys doing something that I think we're sort of doing, and I'd be interested to see if you agree with this. But are you finding that bands, or like you guys obviously have your Ballyhoo guys that have been with you for 25 years and love you and have been with you since day one? But I noticed that one of the things, like your VIP packages, where you can purchase tickets and then and you guys, I guess we get to hang out with you, meet and greet. We go on the bus. You cut the sleeves off my T-shirts. I mean, it's a lot more of a personal thing now.
Experience.
Now we just did this. We just did it for our members. They're called BDMs, and we just did like a couple weeks ago. We gave them $5 T-shirts. We covered the shipping. We're sending them out all across the nation. All this kind of stuff. Are you finding that pendulum is swinging backwards, and that you guys are doing more of the kind of personal experience type stuff for your mega fans?
Yeah, I was always like, honestly, I thought that the VIP thing was kind of a cheap thing to do several years ago. I wasn't really, because we were going out to the merch table every night. Like the things that bands do at VIP, like we were doing that for free every night anyway, like after the show. So we felt like, I don't want to charge somebody $100 to take a picture, and so, but then I started to realize, like, okay, a lot of bands are already doing this. Then fans are actually asking us now, hey, do you guys have VIP? And we're like, no, we don't really do that. And then it just sort of started to make more sense. And when we wanted to go out on the bus and the bandwagon, like we're like, well, let's figure out a way to pay for this. And we're like, okay, maybe we'll do the VIP package. We'll do it on the bus. To me, like the bus is like 80% of the experience. Like people just go on and like, oh, this is amazing. And the other 20 is like actually hanging out with us. We still have a hard time fathoming, the idea that like hanging out with us is cool.
Right. Yeah.
Like we don't think we're cool. And like, so when people like are like, oh my God, it was so cool, like being on the thing with you guys, and they're posting in, putting pictures up, we're just like, it's weird to us, but we see the value in it now. But we just try to pack it up as much as possible. And so we do those little things like, sure, your band can play some songs for you and sign some stuff, but are they cutting your sleeves off your shirts?
Yeah. I seriously, it made the difference for me when I saw it. I go, oh, I like that. I like that sleeve cutting thing. That's good.
Howie, I heard in an interview you talk about college and how our society is set up, and like maybe we go and spend a bunch of money in college. And I've always said, I mean, I graduated from college, but when I look back at it, I'm like, it was more of a thing when 20 years ago, but really the way you describe, like, people describe it like, it's an experience I paid for, and then you in an interview are like, well, you could spend less money and travel the world. That's an experience. There's lots of experiences that don't involve this corporate university. That's really what it is. It's a corporation selling you education and then a certificate at the end.
Right.
But I thought it was pretty interesting. What were your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's to think that like you do all that for the experience or whatever, but like spend the next 20 to 30 years hopefully you got the career that you went there for in the first place, but then you spend the next 20 to 30 years paying that off. It just seems very weird and unbalanced. I think with college, I think if you're someone that went to college and you got value from it and you feel like it worked for you, then that's great. I just think that college these days is not something that needs to be something that you are expected to do, or like it's something that you need to think about. Like every family needs to have a conversation when the time comes. 8th, 9th, 10th grade when we're thinking about going to college in a few years. It's have the conversation. Be like, okay, what do you want to do with your life? What do you really want to do with your life? Okay, is college right for me? Don't just go because it's expected and it's what you're supposed to do.
Right.
That's an old world way of thinking, and the world is just not the same, dude. Like these kids, man, coming out of college, they can't even afford to buy a house anymore. They can't even afford rent. They're living together, 3, 4 of them. It's like, and the tuitions are insane. Like,
oh yeah,
cost of living has gone way up in the last 30, 50 years. Like, it's just, to me, college is not something that it's an important thing that needs to be discussed, not expected. And
yeah,
parents need to stop pushing it on their kids just because they want to tell their friends that, oh, so and so went to this college.
Right.
It's like, that's bullshit, dude.
Yeah.
Like, it's not about you. It's about, are you going to pay for it?
Yeah. No, I gotcha.
There's like 5 things you should go to college for.
Howie, I'm also curious in the I remember I had this fantasy back before I had kids about me and my wife living on a sailboat, and then someone who lived on a sailboat told me, they're like, well, everybody has this fantasy of, and you could learn how to sail pretty easily, but what you got to do is you got to learn how to be a carpenter. You got to learn how to, work with diesel engines. You got to learn how to be
you have to navigate using the stars,
patch the sail and do the plumbing in the boat and do
You're
any
a radio
repair.
operator.
So they're like, sailing's easy, but there's all the other stuff. And then I think about that when it comes to like podcasting or even being in a band, where people have this fantasy. They see the band playing on stage and they're like, I want to do that. Or they see us talking on the show. They're like, I want to talk.
They don't think of Howie booking Ballyhoo or managing travel for Ballyhoo or
the promotion,
room and board,
the sales, the merch, all the other stuff.
The scissors for cutting off the sleeves.
The writing of the music, the engineering of it, how it sounds. Like there's so much other that no one ever talks about when someone, I feel like the 10% of it that people see, that's what they want. But really, we should be talking honestly to everybody who wants to do or be in the entertainment industry about what else it takes, especially nowadays where mainly people are doing it themselves. So do you tell people that as well? Like, hey, there's a lot of like running a band is like running a small business. You got to know all that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, if you're running your show right, the people shouldn't know any of that stuff. They shouldn't have to think about any of that. Like, there's a crew and there's, setting up the stage. Like, if the shows run right, we're providing an experience, like a getaway, for a couple hours, and that's what we want. But yeah, when it comes down to it, when people complain about, why aren't you coming here? Or like, every time you post a tour, it's like, I can't believe you're not coming to Chicago. It's like, we were just there like 2 tours ago. There's a lot of ground to cover, but it's like, it's a lot of work, man. It's a lot of work. Like, I sit here all day long and just, I multitask, work on a million things. And part of that is like figuring out where we want to go next. Are we going to take the bandwagon this time? Can we afford it? What crew do we have? Like, assembling a crew is very hard these days because again, the COVID shit scared people out of the industry because it's like, oh, this can just go away, huh? Like,
right,
so I'm gonna go get a normal job and figure that out. So it's a lot of work that goes into it. People say you're living the dream, dude. You're living. I'm like, bro, I'm chasing the dream. I'm not. There's moments where I feel like I'm living it. I'm like, this is great. Look, I worked a lot of jobs, like warehouse jobs. I drove forklifts. I waited tables for 11 years. I did a lot. I did all that stuff. And I'm happy as shit to not have to do that anymore. I literally can sit here and just create and I make money. But it took so many years, decades to build that, you know. Some people it happens faster for them, you know, but at the end of the day, it's like, I'm not mad about that. I'll sit here and I'll write a song and it'll come out one day and people will sing it, and I'll make my fractions of a penny every time they listen to it.
Yeah. And you know what,
Adds up.
I feel like the living the dream saying, it tricks people to believe that someone who is living a life that maybe other people is sought after
It
to, or
kind of
whatever.
takes the value.
But it by saying that
It diminishes the work.
Yeah,
but yeah,
it's stealing a little of the value of it. I
but
believe.
you're saying that person's entire day, like every waking moment, is a dream, and it's
Right.
not.
No.
Like there is work.
You're seeing
like,
my Instagram. That's different.
Yeah, like maybe the dream is when you're on stage and there's thousands of people and you're having, but that's an hour and a half of, how much work is going a week of work leading up to that.
And you guys have been doing this for 25 years. Did you think 25 years of Ballyhoo?
I mean, I always hoped it would be that way.
Yeah.
It's we're gonna be, the band will be 30 years old in 2025. So it's
nuts.
Fucking weird to me. Yeah.
That's so cool though, man. Like that's
we didn't start touring until 17 years ago, but still, even 17 years is a long time. But I can't take away the fact that, like, as I said, like, this is a dream, that I can sit here and do this. So I don't, I'm not disconnected or desensitized to the fact that I can sit here all day while other people, go sit behind a desk and get yelled at by their boss, or have to wake up at 5 a.m. and commute 2 hours to, the city or whatever. Like, that's not the way I wanted to live. So I made sure that didn't happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just, I stayed. I think a lot of people are scared to try things because it's not guaranteed. I mean, nothing's guaranteed, but at least with like a government job or something, you've got benefits and you've got retirement.
Oh, we dream of government jobs here all the time.
You never get fired.
They get mentioned at least once a week on this show because, you never get fired. You can sleep under a tree. You might get a slap on the wrist.
Not even that. You're just, but there's no like getting promoted at all.
You have to stay. You have to stay until you die.
Yeah. It's just you're sitting right there, which is a prison to me. But
not good.
I also like fantasize about how good that must be to not have any
worries.
worries.
It's safe, right? It's safe. Howie, thank you so much for the time, man. We appreciate it. We can't wait to see you at Hurricane Party.
Not only Hurricane Party, but actually this Thursday, May 11th, he's playing an acoustic set.
Oh,
at
nice.
The Westin. Yeah,
Very
I just
cool.
saw that on their website.
Yeah. And then I also, if you check the website, I think hanging around Cocoa Beach later, too. If you miss them and got other things going on, plenty of ways to see Ballyhoo. We appreciate you, man. Thanks for the time, and let's do it again, okay?
Thank you guys very much. Looking forward to the shows coming up.
All right, man. We'll see you soon. Take care.
Thanks, Howie.
That is Howie Spangler from the band Ballyhoo.
While we were talking to him, I just found out that he's also in somewhat of a super pop punk group that makes music for kids.
Really?
Yeah.
Too much to ask.
I know. It's with the guy from Sleeping with Sirens, a guy from Yellow Card, and they're called the First Rock Band on Mars.
Oh,
and it's
wait
pop
a minute.
punk music for toddlers.
I didn't know that was him then. I've heard of this band. Interesting.
A super smart guy.
Yeah.
Like, I want to check out his podcast.
We'll get it. You know what? I think he spends some time around here. Like, I think he's been in Orlando now and again. We'll get him on the couch and we'll maybe geek out a little bit more and do a little more businessy type stuff. I love talking about that. I'm going to subscribe to his podcast too, because apparently his podcast is all about just a working band.
It reminded me of I saw some video reel about some guy talking about following your passion is BS, and then how that saying to follow your passion is like misleading people to how they need to think about their lives or whatever. And when he was talking about it, it made sense to me, because I always try to pick up things that could be useful for my sons. Because I was talking to like my buddy Fernando, who was staying with me over the weekend.
Fernando.
And I call him whatever I want.
Oh, wow.
Fernando.
And we were talking about like how really the parents of the 80s and even 90s, like, doesn't seem like they really gave us much advice about how to live our lives and stuff. Do what makes you happy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you
all
can be
right.
anything you want to be.
Yeah, you could be like it's
It's
so
just generic statements.
generic, and then that had nothing to do with real life. Like I feel like I needed to be a little
I don't
more
think
point.
I realized until you just said that how generic everything was.
Because but it's also not. It's confusing. Like when you tell someone, like in this particular person was talking about like how follow your passion is BS, because he's like, you should do what you're good at. And try to do that as hard as you can, become the best at what you're good at, and then that will translate into money, and that will translate into a career, and then
it won't be that difficult for you either.
You'll also probably be passionate about that because you're good at it.
You have the talent,
and then so because things that you're passionate about are not necessarily things you're good at. And I started thinking about that. I was like, you're right. Like some people, they're passionate about lots of things they're not good at, but they're really good at whatever their job is.
I mean, most fat dads that love football can't play it.
Yeah.
But they'll die for it.
Yeah. So like following their passion to play football.
Right.
Also, what you're passionate about, the thing may not be what it takes to make a living doing that thing, right?
Right.
So like if you're really passionate about, like,
we're lucky that. I'm lucky in that this is what I wanted to do, something like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not comfortable saying I'm good at this, but I guess you could make the argument that I am because I'm continuing to do it, right?
You're making a living
professionally.
Good
but
is subjective.
I am minority. Nobody like I always wanted to be like a entertainer, right? And then I kind of wanted to be a DJ, and then I kind of wanted to be a rock star, kind of wanted to do music.
Yeah.
And then this is like I guess a version of that.
Yeah.
But I'm one of one. I don't know any other person that's ever talked to me about what they wanted to do, never did it.
But also the day-to-day work is not necessarily what you're passionate about.
No,
and then
it's
it's
not.
also like even the doing this on the show, like, I don't know. I really think I'm going to tell my sons, like, there are, keep your hobbies
to yourself. God damn it. Is that what you're going to say? Say that. Try that.
I think it's important to look at your hobbies and things and not necessarily look at them like that's what you want your career to be, because what your hobbies aren't necessarily what
I'm not good at my scooter.
You could,
right?
Well, okay, let's talk about
that. It's a hobby. I enjoy it.
For instance,
I'm passionate about it, but I don't know my way around it. I'm having to work my ass off to do that because I am not good at it.
But also, it's your hobby because it's what you do on your off time to relax, you enjoy building a scooter. If you built electric scooters for a living and had to get one out a week, then it's every day. Then it turns into a grind, right?
Yeah.
And then that's not what
takes the fun away.
That's not what made you drawn to it to begin with. Like you were drawn to it because it was a like after work hobby to work on that.
It calms me down.
It calms you down. Whatever. You turn that into a job, and then it's like, well, this is not what I like doing. Yeah. Like I like doing it on my weekend, on my own time, and like
at my pace.
Now that there's a deadline, I got to get one out a week, and we have customers to serve. Now you're back into doing business.
It would ruin it.
Anyway, I think there's a lot of that like misconceptions in life that people just throw out there that are bad advice. And
it's not. It's almost as if it's not bad advice. It's almost as if it is only bad advice because you didn't clarify. You didn't give me any details about it.
Too broad.
It's too broad. On the surface, sure, I get what you're getting. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But you didn't dial it in for me, so.
It should be do what you're good at and work on that, right? It's like,
find,
what are you good at?
Yeah, what are you good at? And see if. No, I would say this. It should be more realistic. It should be find what you're good at and do your best to see if you can do that for your job. Do your best, because it's not guaranteed either.
No, 100%.
Because you may love and be decent at something, but you may not be great at it. So you may have to pivot. Andrea had to pivot. Because Andrea didn't know that there are jobs that are so specific to like what she's really good at, right? What she's really good at is organizing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So it took her forever to find, like literally, like I think this job is like her job. This is the job for her. Like I've never seen her, it took years. It took like 15 years for her to find a job that when she's done with it, she can leave it alone. Yeah. She likes it so much that she can distance herself from it. It's perfect for her. She loves it.
Yeah, finding a job that's perfect for you. Now it's hard to do.
Hard.
Because that involves
Hard.
constantly, applying and trying out a bunch of different things, which
you
is a
gotta
lot
be
of work.
open. You got to be open.
Yeah,
A lot of that is just the openness of trying it.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to do that. I don't want to try it again.
Even
I don't want to start over.
applying for jobs.
Ugh,
is,
yuck.
it's just a pain in the ass.
I know. I'll just stay here.
All right, we'll be right back.
All right. That was good. I wish I could have gotten a little more volume out of him, but couldn't do it.
Sorry, I thought to mention we shouldn't curse, but then I was like, well, maybe I get away with it. It was like 5 more times.
Yeah, it's fine.
All right.
Now we're doing OG, right?
Now we're doing OG.
It's funny because so many, he's probably so used to doing podcasts and streaming interviews that he's like, what? This you can't curse? What is this? 1992?
Right.
So it'd be so weird. Like, you can't curse? What? Is this for kids? What? You're like, no, is that FCC rated? What?
Oh, the guy from the FCC, FCC died this morning at the age of 100. Look that up. I started
He
laughing.
still
Old
worked
as
there?
hell.
I laughed and laughed. He died at 100. He got him before he died.
The hell has an employee at 100 years old?
Fucking retire. God damn.
I mean, how could you even... I mean, I've seen, 90-year-olds in good shape. They could do a lot, but they're not productive. You know what I'm saying? Like, they could do a lot for their extreme old age, and you're like, whoa, old man, you could still do this? But it's like, you can't do what you even could do at 50. You know what I'm saying? But just...
I gotta get a hoodie. It's freezing in here. My poor lizard.
Well, and he's on the hot camera. The lizard's still alive, by the way. It ate a grape or something over the weekend. I can't believe that shit is still alive on Sam's camera.
Look, he moved.
We just have to bring it. I guess. Do we leave a little bowl of water for it too?
Well, he can get some fluids from the grapes.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can put a... We had a little bottle cap of water, and then the cleaning lady threw it out.
Yeah. Well, I guess let's leave one on your desk.
Yeah.
And I guess every couple days we leave a little grape or some shit.
He needs protein, though.
What's he doing?
He just moved around, I think, because I got up to go get a hoodie because it's freezing.
Are
in
there
here.
dried mealy bugs or some
I'm
shit?
sure.
That you
I
could
came
get
over on Saturday. couldn't find him.
He was hiding.
So he's on the schedule. He's a Monday through Friday boy.
Well, Well, the
Takes off
cameras
on the
aren't
weekends.
on, so that he probably goes to another
Like a
heat
window,
source.
probably. Yeah.
I don't know. Windows and
Andrea
walls.
is mad at you, Tom. She says her grandfather's 100 and he is productive. How dare you?
No, well,
He's one of one. He's the one.
No, yeah, he's productive for a 100-year-old, but he can't do a 9 to
You're
5.
okay for a 100-year-old.
No, I'm saying he can't work the same amount of work as a 45-year-old could. You know, it's just impossible.
I mean, he could outwork me now, though, but that's just because I'm so weak.
No.
I could push him down.
Yeah.
I gotta get our shows. Hold on here. Don't listen to Andrea. She don't know what she's talking about. She should be working. You get to work. What are you doing over there?
Feet down.
I can start. Here we go. OG. In 3, 2. It is your OG show of the week, and I got my bones rattled a little bit.
Why?
Well, because we did the 500th show, then we did 501 White Trash Christmas, but in between that, I see right in front of me it says Tom Rhodes Interview 3.0.
Oh no, is that
the one? Or was it 4.0?
What year was this?
2018. Was 2018 when we had the Tom Rhodes weirdness that we should read.
Oh, it had to be. It had to be. Oh, I
it
guess.
was pre-pandemic. 2019. It was the next year, I bet. It would have been 2019.
No, I think it was. I think it was this one because I don't think it was.
I don't know.
No way to know.
I don't know.
It doesn't say anything on.
He did come in 2019, so
on our show.
Yes,
that's the one.
So
because that's the last one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
we got a year. Oh. Man, that rattles me when I think about sitting in this chair with that guy. God, it rattles me. I got a year.
You know what? Like, even though that was awkward, it's a nothing to me because
man,
his
gonna hurt his feelings.
Well,
no, fuck him, dude. Like I'm totally fuck him. He
what he was mad about
he was trying to manipulate us and be a dickhead, and he knew he was. And I've since thought about it, and I'm mad. I'm mad that he treated us that way. It was a poor way to treat people that were trying to help him. So fuck him. Seriously, that's how I feel. I've thought about it long and hard, man. And I don't want to feel that way, but he left me no choice because we didn't deliberately do anything to wrong that person, and we never would.
It was a irrational thing for him to get mad at us about, which.
But I got a year to wait on it, and then I'll get mad next year at this time.
Which doesn't, and I don't even. I mean, it
doesn't even matter.
But it was awkward. Oh man.
Yeah. Oh, it was real awkward. This show, though,
right
just
at the
sitting
time,
in the corner, like, oh God, what's
although
happening?
I could deal with awkward as long as it's being broadcast for people to listen to, because then in my mind I'm like, oh, people are hearing this and it's a weird, cringy thing that I'm sure is interesting to people to listen to.
I'm okay with it being out there. It is what it is.
So I'm glad it happened.
Yeah, me too.
On the show rather than if we never recorded it.
Yeah.
Although it started in the lobby.
It did.
But then I was like, let's talk about it on the air.
Yeah, you did. You pushed. You know what's funny is that, like, I don't normally think you're going to do that, but you were the one that spearheaded that.
I could talk to people on the show about anything.
Any
subject,
more comfortable here.
More comfortable.
Interesting.
Because then at least I know, like, other people are listening, and this is providing some sort of entertainment. If it's just me being confronted by him in the lobby and no one's, it's like no one's getting anything out of this. Yeah. I'm only getting awkward. He's getting some sort of anger out or whatever.
You really turned your back on me, guys. I
need people to see what's happening.
We were in the lobby, and he's like, I really needed you guys, and you really let me down. And I'm like, what is happening? I don't know this person.
But also, it assumes that
it's crazy, right?
Anybody with a show that you're automatically like they're
grandfathered in.
They're gonna just have
it's also like one of those weird things where if you'll post something on Facebook or something and it's someone you don't know that well and they're like, oh, where was my invite? And it's like, I don't know you.
But also, it's so awkward for you to say that.
Why didn't you invite me to your birthday? Because, like, what?
Because imagine
I've talked to you once
if the
person.
If the person didn't do that, like they didn't invite you on purpose, and then you're now mentioning it. Who does that? Do you want
a lot of people that do it?
Do you want the person to admit to you that they didn't like you enough to invite you to the birthday?
It could just be very simple of you're not on the radar like that. You guys were not close to Tom Rhodes. He came in here once a year to promote his shows. That's it. You guys didn't have a personal relationship with him.
I probably interviewed the guy like 8 times if you count the times I did on the Monsters.
We had Sam, did you have this awkward situation during your wedding? We had this situation where we invited a lot of our friends to me and Crystal's wedding.
Yeah.
And one friend that didn't get the invite, and they were like, we knew them, they hung out, but they were like,
we got blocked on Facebook because we didn't invite somebody.
Okay. They were out. They confronted us. They were like, why didn't we get invited?
There was a lot of family drama.
Yeah.
You got confronted. I never heard that story.
Yo, yeah,
they confronted you, dude. How
well,
did you survive?
Oh,
I figured your head would fall off.
It's easy for me because I'd have been like, I thought I'm not.
Sorry, I thought we did invite you.
Well, not they know.
Right.
I'm like, hey, I don't know what's going on. I just play die. I'm just like, I want everybody to come. I don't know what. And then
I would have invited you.
I was like, hey,
must
come
have
to the
not
wedding.
Been cut on Crystal's list.
I blame it on Andrea too. It's just easier.
And now Crystal had the out of because it was on a boat, and she started saying like there's a limited, we can only invite a limited amount of people.
Were they fat people?
That's what I said too. Not the boat part, but yeah, it was like we're only having 50 people.
I'm glad I made the cut.
Who goes like okay?
By the way, this person that got all pissed off.
We're talking about this a year premature. By the way, we're gonna have to do this again next year.
I had only met. It was Travis's like second removed cousin or something, right?
Yeah.
Had met their family one time in my entire life. They lived in North Carolina at the time and had 3 small children in school, and our wedding was on a Thursday.
You made an impression on them.
I was like, why the fuck would we invite you?
You made an impression on them.
Also, like, inviting them would almost be...
it's like a pain in the
Dude,
ass.
exactly. I'm like, why? You're going to have to take all 3 of your kids out of school, drive down to Florida, or fly to Florida?
And then they feel
let them decide. You have to let them decide whether or not they want to do that.
But then also...
I can decide that I don't want them to do that.
Well, then they're going to be insulted.
And
good. Block me, bitch.
There's also the thing about like when you invite someone to a wedding, now that person feels a little bit obligated to at least send some gift.
Oh,
so,
no.
You know,
they didn't send shit.
No, but I'm saying like
I see what you're saying.
You should send a gift.
So when you invite someone to your wedding, you shouldn't invite someone that you're pretty sure they can't come because they're out of state or whatever, and then it's like on a Thursday and they got kids.
Have you ever been
So don't
invited?
invite them because now you've given.
Oh, people now will just share their wedding registry on social media, even if they have not invited you to their wedding or the baby shower.
Help me out.
They're like, hey, if you want to donate a gift, like that's a thing now.
Yeah, well, that's okay because it's just they're putting it out there because there are people in your universe that want to get you something and they'll get you the dumbest, useless shit.
Yeah.
And then so it's like at least give them an idea of what to get you because they're going to buy you some garbage. And if they're going to get you something anyway, at least pick it off the registry, and that makes it better for them and you because now they got you something that actually meant something, and instead of just ends up in the fucking garbage. So I'm fine with putting the registry out there.
You're just saying don't invite someone that you know can't make it just to get a free gift?
Did you ever do that? Did you ever invite anybody you knew that was rich just because you thought you might get a good gift?
No, I invited Tom Van and he just didn't show up.
I did that. I did. I deliberately, if we had leeway and Andrea asked me, I'd be like, put that person on there because they're rich. And they'll get... No, I'm serious. I did that. I can't say it. And I'll tell you off the air who I did it with. And it paid off because I got a really good gift. I got like an awesome gift.
That's a thing with graduation announcements where...
You send them to your rich friends.
You send them to everybody you could possibly think of.
It's like fishing. It's like a shotgun blast.
Yeah, someone will just send you some money.
Some old lady will screw up and send you $1,000.
Or like so you'll get more money by sending the announcement to as many possible people.
Old people, you get a check with shaky handwriting for $1,000. You're like, hell yeah, I got that Parkinson's money.
Anyway,
I got to give you the show. Show number 502.
It wasn't actually the Tom Rhodes show.
Yeah, it wasn't that
was an in-betweener.
The Tom Rhodes. You have 1 year. 1 year from today,
do we sit back and watch it together and talk about it?
We should. We should go back and watch next year. We should watch the Tom Rhodes together.
Was it even on
video? It was on video, and we should watch the whole thing and comment on it. Pause it, comment on it, sit through it. Oh, it's gonna stink.
I can't even really remember.
Me neither. I blocked it out a little bit. Show number 502: Toxic Sock Syndrome from December 28th of 2018. So this was smack dab in the we'll be Christmas crazy on this. Our wives are here. Remember the bowl? I think that's the Red Bull story we tell. Tom has different sized feet. Remember that bombshell?
No.
He's got one baby foot and one big
think that's
mambo.
From the accident, the four-wheeler.
Yeah, you have one mambo foot and one baby foot.
Yeah, three-wheeler.
That's
little trashy.
Have you seen that guy jumping the three-wheeler in the street where he goes over the?
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
When I saw that, I was like, man, I wish the gimmick wasn't a scooter. It was three-wheeler jumps. because it would have been cooler that if Drunk
He lands the hell out of it too.
Jumps a 3-wheeler, although way more dangerous.
Really?
Oh yeah, the 3-wheeler, 3 wheels compared to 2 wheels.
It's just so much more unpredictable.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Raccoon, collusion, ice cream trucks, boat, hot dog man, crystal can't whisper, tampon in the Uber, tampon tutorial, grading your butthole, dusty turd crumbles, bumbling crumbler, go live with the tampons, Tom at the bro flake, toxic sock syndrome, Lil Firebally, Pedro Lima brought us Coquito. Hate that stuff. Butler's coupon fiasco. Richard calls to ask Tom about joke advice. So there you go.
All right.
Sounds like a crazy show.
So I do have a foot odor problem. This probably was discussed on the show.
The foot deodorant.
Do you have it now?
Yeah. It never goes anywhere. It's
well, you've been wearing shoes and socks more.
Well, his feet already stink, and now he's just trapping the stink in.
Yeah. When I take my...
Do you wash your feet?
Yeah.
No.
I mean, they get washed enough. It's some sort of genetic thing because my son Tommy has it. Max doesn't have it. Like Crystal. Crystal doesn't have it
Tommy
either.
at 9 years old already has stinky feet?
Yeah.
So does Maisie.
Sucks.
Maisie's feet smell like trash.
I'm telling you, it's some genetic...
And she got them dance shoes all over the house. The whole house smells like a gym bag. Oh, it's gross.
I think
it stinks.
It's genetic. Like you have natural stinky feet. It has nothing to do with washing them.
So what do you do? What are you supposed to do about it?
There's nothing you can do.
You can't soak them in you got to put them in like a bucket of alcohol or a bucket of vinegar.
Yeah, well, that will neutralize it at that point. Yeah. But then
you got to put your feet. You need a chemical reaction, so you need to put your feet on aluminum foil and hot water, and then sprinkle baking soda on the aluminum foil, and then put watch battery.
What if you get a pedicure and they shave off one layer of stink?
Yeah, what if they shave the stink off?
That it still stinks after. I got
had a pedicure?
Yes, I have.
Do your hands?
So remember the lady cut me?
I started bleeding. That's right. Yeah.
Like she was shaving off the calluses on my feet.
Yeah, well, you normally don't go there.
It was bleeding.
Yeah, it was bleeding everywhere.
And then I was just frozen. I was like, oh man, I hope this lady doesn't feel bad.
That can get infected.
We shouldn't be there. It's like when Dog the Bounty Hunter goes to the dentist. He bleeds everywhere. It's just what happens when you're not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Oh, the chat is tearing you apart. They're saying he doesn't wash his feet, and he's trying to tell us it has nothing to do with washing your feet.
I'm telling you.
That's a valid point. If you don't wash your feet, we can't sit here and say that that's not the cause of it, right?
But some people have...
And you have stinky ass flip-flops and shoes.
Some people have BO. It has nothing to do with them, being
sure,
dirty.
But we can't,
I have BO,
we can't
and I'm
rule
not
it
dirty.
out because you, in fact, do not wash your feet.
Hold on. I have BO, and I'm not dirty. And you are bullying 2 disabled people on the show.
No, I'm just saying we can't rule out the fact that it's not because he doesn't wash his feet, right? Maybe wash your feet for a couple weeks and see how it goes.
I'll wash your feet if you'll wash my pits.
Well, you only need to wash them once, and then they should not stink later on.
You got to get a pair of fresh shoes, too.
Yeah, you got to get a brush, like a yellow bristle plastic brush, and you got to soap them good. And scrub them all through the toes and everything.
You gotta let them soak in the crevices.
And you gotta scrub the toes, and then you gotta peel all that skin, because I know you got athlete's feet.
Do you dry your feet? Because that'll lead to
You gotta dry them. You gotta dry them so you don't get yeast feet.
In between the toes?
You got yeasty feet?
I remember one time that we ended up taking this girl.
Oh my God!
Might have to cut
Here we
this
go.
out.
It's a Brad Williams over here telling the Pedro Lima. Not Pedro Lima. Who's the guy?
No.
It was Brad Williams and the guy that stole the jokes.
It was a
Carlos Mencia.
Yeah.
It was a friend of ours, and we dropped her off in Tallahassee after a wedding in Miami. She was like, I missed my flight. And so anyway, and me and Fernando were there because he rode with me. I was like, hey, you want to ride to drop Jenna off?
You guys both thought you were going to get lucky, right?
I don't know what we thought, but probably
a lot of boys would do that. You'd be like, hey, you want to go with me with this girl? One of us might get lucky. You'd be like, all right, I'll tag along.
Any other motivation at that time? I was a poor young Tom Van. But I was also...
I'll buy you some cigarettes.
I don't know what else. We dropped her off.
You're horny.
And it was a friend. I known this girl since middle school or whatever.
So it could have just been that it was your friend.
Yeah. But there's like when you're 20 years old, there's a lot of you have friends that are girls.
Yeah.
In the back of your mind, you constantly think like, what if she seduces
drunk?
me?
Oh my god, you and your seduction stories.
Yeah. What if she starts kissing me?
I'd never make the first move. I'd never.
That's why it never happened.
Anyway,
why it never happened.
So we by the time we got there, it was like 7 a.m, and we were so tired that I was like, can we just crash? And then she had to go to class, so she's like, yeah, you can crash in my room. And then so
let's look in our panty drawer, dude.
I took my shoes off and my socks, and then it stunk the entire. Fernando's like, oh God. He's like,
smoke alarm went off.
He's like, it stinks so bad. And so I remember I
what'd you do?
As a way to, because I was so embarrassed, I was like, oh God, it stunk up the whole room. I took a towel.
You burned the.
No, I took a towel thinking that I could cover my shoes and socks with a towel, and that would hold the stink in. And then
with a towel.
Yeah, then I
it's like the towel under the door jam, right?
It's not a baby bird.
yeah,
What
it's
a
like
towel.
The weed smoke, yeah.
Put a towel over it.
Yeah.
Like a baby bird.
I see your your
it's
thought
not
process
it's
here.
It's not a baby squirrel.
Yeah.
You're not transporting it to the
And then I realized, I was like, man. And then I was like, I can't put my
Man,
feet.
I'm never gonna get that.
I was like, it stunk up like.
You knew you were gonna get to blast this girl because
Well,
her
it was
feet
already
stunk too
it was
bad.
already daytime.
Yeah.
She was leaving. It was like, but I just didn't want to stink
You're
up
not gonna
all
let
room.
me blast you, are you? Because
Yeah.
my feet are too stinky.
Then I had to put a towel over my feet on the top of her comforter, just like wrap my feet like a mummy.
Hold on a second. You had to
Because-
sleep with your feet wrapped. They smelled so bad. You had to wrap them so they couldn't touch
Why
her
don't you just
comforter.
go wash them?
Well,
He didn't think of that.
well, because
didn't
I
think
was
of
so
that.
tired. Like we were
Too tired to wash his feet.
we were delusional. She was also showering
Oh,
for her
yeah,
class.
yes.
And then we were trying to
I knew
pass
it.
out.
I knew that.
No. It was
You were in there
innocent.
peeping through the keyhole.
No, anyway. So this has been plaguing me for a long time.
Well, would you let me wash your feet? I bet you I could get
No.
rid of the stink.
No. There's no getting rid.
No,
it
you
comes
gotta-
back.
No, because you got to keep you got to have a.
It's
that's the thing
producing
about,
stink.
Yeah, but that's the thing about hygiene.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like
That's the thing about hygiene.
like
you got to
washing
keep
your-
up with it.
Washing your butt, would
Yeah,
help
well, you gotta-
temporarily,
you gotta
but
keep up with
it's
it.
Yeah.
You got to do it
You
every
gotta
time. You
wash
can't
it.
just wash your
What?
feet one time. You got to wash them. You got to deep clean them once a week with a yellow
Oh,
brush
boy.
that you use like on white
They'll
walls.
stink every day.
No. No, they won't.
I'll wash them in the morning, and guess what? I'll put heat muffs in my shoes, and then they'll stink. Or they'll stink now.
Heat muffs.
Yeah, you
That's
call
what I
socks
call-
or heat muffs.
Oh.
They cause my feet to heat up, and then it releases the stink.
Well, you got to keep doing that until you've got all the stink out of it. You get
It comes from internally. I don't know where it comes.
It comes from inside the house.
It's coming from
It's coming from inside
my
the house.
inner feet. It's not on the outside. It's
So it's in the bones. You're saying
the stink.
It's in the bones.
Yeah, it's coming from stink bones in my feet or something.
Stink bones.
I'm telling you, it's not something you can wash off.
I
Is
think.
it possible you can get like some better socks that like are breathable?
Well,
Maybe,
first thing you got to
maybe they're
throw out
too-
all your stinking socks because you've already compromised. You got to get brand new, and you got to start wearing thick boys like Billy
Yeah.
Crystal wears. You got to start wearing Billy Crystal shoes.
No.
the anti-sweat
The
socks.
stink is
Puffy
internally.
socks and big
You know.
giant New Balance.
It's fine. It's what I have to live with, and I'll die with it. This is
Jesus.
no big deal.
I like
My
that.
son has it, and I'll tell him. I'll like you will one day have to wrap your feet in a towel.
Oh, and you'll be staying at some girl's house. You're not going to get lucky because your feet smell too bad. You'll have to wrap them and sleep shamed while she
Yeah.
goes to class.
And while your buddy Fernando is yelling at you, why is this happening? No, he was saying, because he was saying the same thing you are. He's like, you have to wash your feet. You're an
Yeah,
animal.
you got to get in there and
And-
scrub them good.
And when I
There
was,
seems to be a consensus here that you're fighting against.
but I was 20. I was like, it's inside
yeah,
my
but now
feet.
you're
No,
but
it's
now
not.
you're 40.
Yeah,
Yeah,
20 years of
Wash your
stink.
goddamn feet.
Yeah, you gotta wash your feet.
I do
When
it.
is the last time you actually washed your
I'm
feet?
talking
I wash
scrubbed
'em.
in between the toes.
Yeah.
You said you just let the water go down.
Yeah.
That's not washing.
He can't reach his feet.
Call Crystal.
Okay.
my
Call
God.
her. Call her on her.
Is she gonna actually answer?
Yeah. I'm gonna give you her her business
You got
line.
a burner phone.
I have both of her phone
You got to
numbers.
call the
Yeah.
stink line.
I gotta. Yeah.
The burner. You got to call
Here,
the burner phone.
Call this
line.
number. This is the public one.
So like, what do you want? I'm
Okay.
working.
407-865-3863. This lady will tell you she's lived with me for 25 years.
Has she ever scrubbed them?
Yes. Oh yeah.
With like a toothbrush.
Yeah. Because she said the same thing.
You get in there with a toothbrush and you got to get all that skin out.
She scrubbed my calluses off my feet because she said the same thing. If you wash these things every day, like it just won't happen. And I
think you can get away with it every other day.
Yeah.
Tom wants to talk to you about his stinky feet.
Oh, that's embarrassing. They have basically your assistant call your wife and say you would talk to you. Yeah, but it close enough.
On a business call with her business partner.
Oh, well, tell Bart.
Her and Bart are talking about watching.
I'll plug the Bart Merrick team. Yeah. This is more important right now.
Does Bart know about your feet?
No, I mean, I don't tell everybody. He listens to the show.
Right, she hung up on Bart for you for this.
Hey, babe.
Hi.
Hey, sorry. You can get back. Bart Merrick team. That's it.
I like how he was about to say, you can get back to what you were doing in a minute.
So
he
is Daniel and Sam don't believe that I have
no. I just
genetically stinky feet.
I want to scrub them.
They say it's because I need to clean my feet.
Let me scrub them.
We don't know because you don't clean them.
I want to scrub them, Crystal, with a big yellow tire brush like they use at, like a car wash. And I want to soap them up good and really scrub them and get them clean. And if he did that every night, they wouldn't stink.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've been living with this guy for a long time. His feet smell like salt and vinegar chips.
Oh, my God.
And
I like salt and vinegar chips.
It's internal.
It's really bad. I mean, and who has it? It's Tommy, right?
Yeah.
I think Tommy has it.
Yep. It's genetically stinky feet.
God,
and
you're making her cough.
I'm just saying, like you.
She can smell through the
Yeah,
phone.
she can smell it through the phone.
Yeah, some people have. This is a disorder, and you should be pitying
Tom
me.
says the stink is in the bones.
Yeah.
I don't know what it comes from, but you guys do make a good point. He does not wash his feet.
Right. Thank you.
That's why we
stands
call
in the shower, and the soap goes down there on its way to the drain.
Yeah, you gotta wash them, and you gotta get into between each toe and get that skin out of there and the lint.
Yeah, he doesn't do
and
that.
the mung,
Definitely
you'll
not.
get mung. Sometimes I get.
You know what's interesting about his feet? He does have like really soft feet, and he wears sandals just as much as I do. But if I don't take care of my feet, my heels get all cracked, and like it's bad. Like I have to maintain my feet health.
He has one crack on his heel where it is turned black like a cowboy map. Like a cowboy map of treasure where you can see where the blood, where it cracked and then it grew back together and you can see the blood in it.
No.
I don't know. It's not blood. It's soil from the backyard. I'm telling you, it's from him walking around in the soil.
Oh
but you need to use my cheese grater, babe. You just got to,
Yeah, you got to grate them down.
Grate the steak.
Well, Crystal has used the cheese grater and washed my feet, and they still will stink later that day if I put some.
They do smell like vinegar.
Yeah. Like I'm telling you, it's
but then you put it because you're wearing the same stinky vinegar flip flops.
Yeah,
you can't put clean feet and stinky shoes and think that your feet aren't going to stink.
Your feet activate your shoes. Your shoes activate your feet. So
yeah,
if you don't
it's a chemical situation.
It's literally.
So, we got to take this to the science center.
Okay,
it's a snake eating its own tail.
It's a mess fest.
So you say if I wash my feet completely and then like get new shoes and sandals,
and socks,
then that'll cure me?
We don't know, but we got to test it out.
And they got to be freshies. They got to be big, thick boy Fruit of the Looms and big New Balance Pufos.
You should do an experiment and see. But I think they'll still stink.
Yeah.
Okay.
The shoes, like my sandals, okay, I wear the same sandals. I've been wearing the same sandals for like 5 years. My sandals do not smell like anything. They don't smell like anything.
Yeah. Right, but Tom's also fishing out stinky possums with rainwater in it and dumping it on his feet. He steps in dog shit every day.
Standing in a pile of sewage.
So, I mean.
Every other day.
Yeah, there's cat shit everywhere. You're like
raccoon
taking
shit.
the trash out there, raccoon shit.
Oh, God, the raccoon shit has gotten too far.
It's so bad. I can smell it from the pool.
Oh, my
man.
God. Do you guys have anything that smells good in your house?
Yeah, the raccoons are shitting all over my yard, and I'm so mad at it that I can't keep them out.
It is time for justice.
There's nothing.
What do we do?
You kill them all.
No, I got the granules, and I started spreading the granules, and that didn't help it.
You don't spread granules. You know what you spread? You spread good old-fashioned hollow points.
You're going to have to actually put out litter boxes for these raccoons.
No.
You're gonna have to go out there. There's nothing that a bat with some barbed wire, little Lucille, and I'll go out there with you, and we will get them.
They come out at night.
Yeah, well, they won't for next time. We'll get out there and get them good.
It's an unlimited amount in the woods. They just keep coming.
You got to burn the woods down.
All right, babe. Sorry, I just wanted to discuss feet for a second. How's your day going?
Oh, just hanging around.
Hanging around.
Beetlejuice. You think Beetlejuice is more popular now more than ever because of just that meme?
I love it. I love that. Every single one that comes across, I love it.
I almost bought a Beetlejuice hat yesterday.
Like, is he making more money now because of that meme?
No way. You think people get paid on memes?
No, I'm just like his popularity is up. So like
people don't even know who he is though.
Yeah, but
they'll just see it. It's just like any other like viral person. They don't know who they are.
What a time to be an R word.
That's true. I bet most of the people who are seeing that don't know.
Yeah.
Who he is or where he came from.
Yeah, that's old man comedy.
Yeah, but
it's just like some old man crap.
But like now, the 20-year-olds on TikTok, if Beetlejuice shows up at the local strip club or wherever he does appearances, you know what I'm saying? Like, they'll be like, "Oh, it's the meme guy. I'm gonna go see him."
Yeah.
I love that you think 20-year-olds are going to strip clubs.
No, wherever
Yeah,
the
they
club.
don't like that. They don't like this.
They got OnlyFans now, man.
Yeah,
they're still seeing it in person.
It's still better.
It's still better.
I like to be there so I can smell their feet.
Sorry, babe.
All right, I've got to get back to work.
Okay, all right, bye-bye.
See ya, bye-bye.
All right.
Okay, we did it.
Well, enjoy this OG show. It's the end of 2018. Are we
2018.
Yeah, we're going into 2019.
Going into 2019.
So, man, it's going to be weird once we hit the pandemic and the beginning of the pandemic, right?
I think we should skip those.
Because, well, I mean, how long? It's like 2020.
It will be interesting to hear, like, the BDM show, like, or the Friday Free Show, like, the week before everything shut down, and then the week after.
You're right.
And then us doing the show.
Because we probably talk so much shit of, like, it's not, nothing's going to
You know what?
I for sure did.
I know you did.
You know what I've always
I was talking
wanted to do?
shit.
I've always wanted to do a show that's not old, but tell everybody it's old to gaslight them.
And then they'll be like, I don't remember that episode.
Yeah, I want to do a BDM show and then release it as something from 2019. I'm going to do that
We
this
start
year,
predicting
and you guys
things.
Never
And we're like,
know.
oh my God, they predicted the winner of the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they got it.
Now, because there's no way to really prove that this show is actually from the date, I guess, unless you already heard it. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I know a lot of people like that started listening a couple of years ago have never heard some of these old shows.
It's true.
You know?
I had a guy hit me up yesterday. He's like, I'm looking for these specific shows. And I was like, well, if you're a BDM, you have all of them. So
all the BDM shows are there, but we only go back 100 on the Friday Free Show.
Yep.
So that's why we release. Anyway,
there you go.
Enjoy this show, and we will see you on the BDM Show.
All right. And then I guess we're going to lunch.
Yep.
Going to lunch, y'all.
And BDM